So it's my favorite part of the week, or as I say, my favorite eighth day of the week, which is Friday after work. And I decided that okay, it's time to make some update on my video where I was whinging a lot about my Opel Astra, or Vauxhall, or Holden Astra if you prefer. So today, apart from mentioning few things that I find annoying about it, or new things that I find annoying, and one that I listed before, I will also say the few things that I like about it a lot. And I'll start with that, in fact. But before I get there, I would like to thank all you guys that commented on my video. About my car, as well as on all previous videos. No matter what kind of comments they are, even if they're not extremely nice, I still like reading them. I always respond to them. So keep it going. Okay, so let's start with things I like about it. I really like how it drives. Okay, I like the fact that it has very good balance between sport and comfort. It's very well damped for noise, in my opinion, despite the diesel engine. I like the acceleration. Now, I read some and watched some previous reviews, and there were some complaints about the sport mode. I can tell you that it makes a little bit of difference. It's not huge, but it is significant enough to notice, and I like it. What else? I like the fact how well all parts are put together. You really can't hear a squeak. Yes, I drive it for roughly 6 months now, but still, I drove in new cars before that you got in from straight from the factory, and you could hear some noises that should never happen. So the plastic quality is good. The areas where plastic touches another material, is it plastic, metal, or glass, are created, designed the way and made of the material that doesn't make a noise, and that's great. Yes, so if I had to choose a car again, would I choose Opel Astra, this specific one with this specific engine? Yes, I would, despite the things that I complain about. Okay, so obviously, when there is a time, I will probably try another car to just because I like trying new stuff. I like reviewing new products, but not because I don't like this car. So far, I'm really happy. Okay, I know it's still too early to judge, and probably, you know, within 3 first years, nothing major should happen. But still, that's good. So what else I don't like about it? There is this few little things that annoy me from time to time, especially comparing to my Sub 95 that I used to drive. It was year 2000, and the engine was 2.0 turbo, a petrol engine, and I would consider it, in those days at least, a luxury car, or at least half luxury. So, you know, I changed it to this one, and it didn't make huge difference, but it made a difference. But there is this few things that annoy me, I have to say. So if you expect something great from the screen, oh yeah, I'll come back to that. So if you expect something great from the screen, you will be disappointed. The reaction time, oh yeah, and we've got some soundtrack now. The reaction time is not great, so I press the button. Okay, you can see there is like a second delay, and especially when you connect to a Bluetooth, to even a smartphone via cable, you will see that sometimes it feels like you want to press it twice. On top of it, it has this annoying surface that is not completely smooth like in phones, so it feels a little bit cheap, but that's not a big problem. So another thing that I don't like about this car as much is this handbrake lever. Okay, have a look at it. Do you think it's on or off? I can almost see it being almost exactly parallel to the bottom of the car. So for me, sometimes it looks like it's off. In fact, it's on. Okay, so the difference between the levels is very small. In fact, this one is much more parallel than this one here, which is a little bit bent towards the front of the car. Okay, so this is another little thing that I don't understand people complaining about, on the other hand, is this gear handle, because some people say it's too large for them, it is not comfortable. I find it extremely comfortable, and it feels like it helps you control the car, so it's really nice. Okay, next thing I don't like about this car is the amount of or the view angle through the especially front window, but not only. I do believe that the sides poles are a little bit too wide, and sometimes they obscure the view, especially when you turn right or left and there is a crossing just next to it. It feels like sometimes it feels like it obscures the view and you can hit someone by accident. I watch a lot of reviews and it looks like it is normal for modern cars. Probably it's part of the safety system for the car, but yes, it's significantly worse than in my Saab, for example. Another problem is the view angle through the front window. So very often when I get to crossing and I have traffic lights in front of me, I'm the first car or even sometimes the second one, I cannot see the light. So I have to bend to look up, or I have to look to the side light, which is again annoying. I think the window ends a little bit too soon. It should go much further back. Okay, what else? Yes, you heard it in the beginning of this video. This annoying rear proximity. Yeah, listen to it and tell me that it's not annoying. I'm not moving at the moment. I'm just standing and there's some bushes just on the side of the car. Okay, so okay, this is not a big deal. The big deal is the fact that you cannot switch it off completely. Even in the software settings, you cannot switch it off completely. You will switch it off now, then you turn off the engine, you turn it on again, and it's on again. It annoys me a lot. Sometimes it switches on without any purpose, in my opinion, like the warning in front of the car for close proximity car in front of me. This one is I appreciate a lot, to be fair, because in few situations when I wasn't watching the road, it saved my skin, but it does switch on from time to time without any reason. So sometimes it feels like maybe car is a little bit too dusty, maybe that's why it switches on a little bit more often. I've got no idea, but it does. And finally, the assistant system when you move from stop and you are on a hill. This one works only at certain angle, and that angle, that hill has to be quite steep for it to work properly. I was ending up in situations where there was, I don't know, maybe 10-degree hill or something like that, and the car was going back and the system didn't work. On the other hand, on the very steep hills, like the one that you drive out of the underground parking, it works and it's really helpful. I like it a lot. I would only like it to be more sensitive to smaller angles. I think there is one more thing, which is the cover or the entry to the boot, which in my opinion should have some kind of protection for putting stuff in. Now I ended up a few times on carrying IKEA furnitures for my house in this car, and I liked a lot the fact that you can put the rear seats flat or almost flat, and the fact that you can, and it's 60-40 divided 60-40, so you can still use some space for passengers. The annoying thing is the fact, and maybe someone will help me with that, I was not able to take off these head supports. I can just move them up or down and that's it. And I'll show, and when I was carrying longer stuff like some kind of cupboards from IKEA, I wasn't able to put the seat flat down or back, and I'll show you that in a moment. So you can use this space for carrying, but not as much this one here. Give me a second, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so you can see it being all the way back. Now the problem is that with that rear seat being down, this seat will not go as flat anyway. All right, and front wise it will go maybe like that maximum. Okay, another thing that I just noticed that I don't like is that turning wheel that takes forever to move the seat up. Yeah, I'm almost there. I can't handle it. I can't do it anymore. Okay, so this is me whinging about my car, that apart from all that all these annoying things, I do like. Yes, so I would recommend it to people. Just be aware of all these things, because if you have OCD like I do, you will get annoyed sometimes with it. I guess every car has something. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. I hope you liked it. If you don't, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Maybe you can teach me something like the previous video taught me, and there was a few comments that really made me think. For example, information about start-stop system that I gave you there, that it's capricious, that sometimes it switches on, sometimes it doesn't. There was a comment that explained me a lot, that it depends on the temperature of engine, it depends on outside temperature. Yes, I learned something new from it. Okay, thanks a lot, guys and girls, and have a great weekend.